Colorado has long been a canvas for the American imagination.
I mean, I grew up in Colorado. This is my home. I moved here when I was younger than a year old. My parents came like so many people who were looking for a new life or a new chance in the West and came to Colorado and started as small business owners. And so I've grown up my entire life here.
From the winter sports, come on, it doesn't get any nicer than this. You having fun?
Oh yeah, I'm having fun. Let's go.
To the history.
We are in the Five Points neighborhood of Denver, and we're standing on the porch of the former home of Dr. Justina Ford, the first Black woman licensed doctor in Colorado.
It's a state shaped by the hopes and the hardships of those who set out to make their fortune in the mountains.
At the turn of the century, there was 4,000 towns like this dotting the mountains of Colorado, all looking for the same thing: gold!
The untamed beauty and resilience and the stories make Colorado much more than a postcard. This is Roots of the Rockies. I'm Kolyn, a storyteller drawn to the past and to the cultures that connect us. I've always believed that to know where we're going, we must first understand where we've been.
Yeah, you can't have enough snowmobiling. This is super fun, man.
And I'm Lindsey. I chase stories and sometimes the thrill that comes with them. One minute I'm free falling from 10,000 feet in the air. The next I'm 1,500 feet underground in a diamond mine. I live for the moments that bring us closer.
As we travel the world, we're chasing more than stories. We're chasing connections. Each culture, each journey reminds us we're all part of something bigger.
And what makes it even more meaningful is sharing that journey with our daughter, Kynsley, discovering a country's past, its present, and its future together as a family.
Because to understand where we are, we have to know where we began. And only then we can see where we're going.
This is World of Travel.
Season 2!
Welcome to World of Travel. When you guys think of Colorado, you might think of Denver. You may think of, the trees in several different ways. But when I think of Colorado, I think of the Rockies.
As the snow caps glisten above the Rockies and the sun sets over red sandstone cliffs, Colorado's beauty feels eternal. But beneath this breathtaking landscape lies something deeper. A story of homelands, migration, and resilience. A story that began thousands of years before state lines, before the gold rush, before Colorado was even called Colorado.
Nations have been coming together for over 11,000 years to trade and interact with each other. And so Denver was always a special place. That area where the confluence is considered sacred to us because it's where our relatives were. For me, it's even more important because my great-great-grandfathers on my Cheyenne side and on my Lakota side both had camps there and would stay about 4 months out of the year during the winter time. So it's our homeland, it's my homeland. And so when we think about Denver, I think about it differently than anybody else would.
That confluence, where the South Platte River meets Cherry Creek, is now the heart of downtown Denver. But to the Indian nations, it has always been a sacred meeting ground. Rick Williams, CEO of People of Sacred Land and former president of the American Indian College Fund, says that history is not just something to be remembered, it's something still lived.
What people don't know is there was a law in 1834 that prohibited non-Indians from coming into the land. And they were supposed to be removed and fined $1,000. But the United States government didn't honor their own laws, and consequently, you see people migrating into the area. What makes it worse is in 1858, gold is discovered. The city of Denver becomes incorporated, and you have town companies cutting up the land and selling lots, and they never even owned it. The land was never legally ceded to the people who were coming in. And it was a major invasion. There were 100,000 people came into our homeland and treated us horribly. I mean, they were acting like, these innocent settlers were being ravaged by the savages, when it was just the opposite. The truth about what was happening is significantly different.
The story of Colorado's founding, often told as one of rugged determination, is also a story of displacement, broken treaties, and survival. Today, the descendants of the Ute, Cheyenne, Arapaho, and Lakota people continue to fight for recognition, for protection of sacred lands, and for the truth of their history to be told, not erased. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston is facing the uncomfortable conversations head on.
So you don't mind complicated, right? You talked about it. You kind of lean into it. We've traveled so much to South Africa. They don't mind complicated. They talk about atoning for things of the past often. They try to right their wrongs, still getting it wrong sometimes. So why is it that you're comfortable in that friction, and why do you try to lead, or do you try to lead with that style?
I do. I feel like the nature of history is you have to hold all the hard truths. And then when you look at those hard truths, you draw the lessons of who we were and who we want to be, and what parts of who we were we want to leave behind, and what parts of who we were we want to carry forward. And I think if you don't tell the full truth, you leave out full communities. You know, it's a century where no one told the story of the Ute and the Cheyenne and the Arapaho. I mean, quite literally, they owned this city, and we had deeded it to them because white settlers initially saw it not to be valuable land. Then they changed their mind and started settling this city in 1858 when it was still owned by the Ute and the Cheyenne and the Arapaho. It wasn't until 3 years later we forced them to change the treaty, give it back to us, but that was 3 years of building on what was land that we stole. I mean, that is true about the city, and it's true that many of those Native Americans, and they were pushed out of Denver, got pushed down to Sand Creek, where the U.S. Army then massacred them on what was the deadliest day in Colorado history. Like, those are all truths about Colorado we have to own. And then we have to say, okay, now what do we do to make sure the Ute and the Cheyenne and the Arapaho feel at home here now and know this is still their home and their land and their place, and they can be seen and recognized. We just done tonight, we'll have a vote of the City Council to put a historic package into our bond to create the first American Indian cultural embassy right here in Denver. We'll celebrate and tell those stories. So we think a real history is a full history, and we have to look those truths in the eye and still be able to say that's who we were, but it's not who we have to be.
Rick says one thing that gets lost in history books is the disposition of his ancestors.
I want my children and grandchildren and people of the world to know that American Indian people were peaceful people. We were not warlike. We were not trying to destroy people who were coming here. We were being attacked and retaliated, but we're peaceful people.
Just as the stories of Colorado's Indian nations are overlooked, so are the stories of Black Cowboys who helped build the West. Terry Gentry of the Black American West Museum and Heritage Center knows all about that.
So Terry, there was a big migration to Denver. Can you tell me more about that big migration and why people came here?
Well, we need to go back at the time of slavery. For example, Quindaro, Kansas was an underground railroad station. And then with Reconstruction, people came into that area and then other places in Kansas and then scattered around the western United States, and they were called the Exodusters. Colorado was part of Kansas Territory until 1861. And so folks thought, pack up, let's go west. So they scattered all over the western United States. We have a number of different Black town sites like Nicodemus, Kansas, Mount Bayou, Mississippi, Boley, Oklahoma, Blackdom, New Mexico, Allensworth, California, because we had Black farmers and ranchers, and they were in the mines, and they were doing all kinds of different things in Colorado.
The Exoduster movement started in 1877, and it was one of the first large organized migrations of African Americans after slavery. It's important to emphasize that Indigenous peoples lived in what's now called the United States of America thousands of years before European arrival, and they were instrumental in assisting people of color that moved west on starting their new lives.
I would love to ask you about the relationship between Native Americans and Black folk.
Well, back in the day when we were leaving in part of the Exoduster movement, the Native American would give us space on their land and let us pass to create settlements and things, and to help us with our freedom and help us take care of ourselves. And unfortunately, there were so many other betrayals that happened You know, we had over 400 treaties over a couple of hundred years with a Native American. Every single one of them have been violated. Not us, but I'm the United States.
Yeah.
And so we've got to go back and look at everything that's happened. And in spite of all of those horrific things happening, they were still trying to be guardians and help us with our own freedom and moving into spaces around the Western United States so that we could take care of ourselves.
Cowboy culture was blowing up in the West, and many of the exodusters brought with them skills in horsemanship and cattle herding, honed through experiences in the South and during the Civil War. Black cowboys found employment with ranches and cattle drives, where those expertise were recognized despite the racial prejudice of that time. Paul Stewart, who founded the Black American West Museum, wanted the world to understand that history.
So tell us a little bit about what we see in this museum.
We've got a room that celebrates Deerfield, Colorado, which was an all-black settlement in 1910. And then we have a room that highlights farming and ranching and the black cowboys. And Mr. Stewart discovered almost 1 in 3 cowboys was black. When he was a child, he would play cowboys and Indians with his friends, and he wanted to play the cowboy, and his friends would tell him, there's no such thing as black cowboys. In 1962, he came out here to visit his cousin Earl Mann, and they were walking in downtown Denver, and he met a black cowboy. And that really inspired him. So a few years later, he moved back to Denver and started collecting artifacts and photos and things in his barber shop.
And so this is some of the tools they would use with hard labor to earn their keep. So it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this room, for sure.
Some moments immediately took me back to my childhood in Beaumont, Texas.
So a thing that reminds me of my youth and growing up and stuff I would see, of course the saddles, you know, being from Beaumont, out in Cheeks. We would have saddles. Cheeks is like a country town outside of Beaumont, the way they do a lot of trail rides. But my grandpa would have a .22 rifle at the front door. He never had to use it, it just stayed there. But one thing we knew as kids, never touch it.
Cowboy history starts in the 1500s in Mexico with the vaqueros. And they had land and were managing cattle herds and things like that. And when you look at the history of Mexico, they gained their independence in 1821 and they ended slavery in 1829. And we were part of that story with the cattle and herding cattle. And then you need to learn and understand the history of Texas with slavery and freedom and the United States trying to take Texas away from Mexico. And also learn about the people from the western continent of Africa that were specifically brought in to manage cattle.
Their contributions were instrumental in the development of the cattle industry in Colorado and the broader Western United States. And their story is a testament to their resilience.
You get up every day to live your best life. You do not be afraid to go for something. You've got to move forward and try to make changes and make sure that the things you do leave an incredible legacy for the children that you bring into the world. And that's why I'm here at the Black American West Museum, because I want to give it back and I want to make sure that these children understand this incredible legacy that we have.
Coming here, we learned about 1 in 3 cowboys being black.
Yes.
As a black woman, that was so surprising to me. I just didn't see myself in cowboys.
Yes. Sidebar, that's why we're happy that Beyonce and Cowboy Carter is taking back the brand of the black cowboy, right? Because like it was a lost brand for a long time, but it's a deep part of the history here. And so I think for us, it's about how do we tell that, because when all the diverse communities in Denver can see themselves in Denver's history in a way that is empowering and not minimizing, then you feel that much more in ownership over your own home. We talk about Union Station. And Union Station was literally what connected Denver to the rest of the world. If we didn't have that spur that was built from Cheyenne to Denver, Transcontinental Railroad got built and Denver got left out. I mean, we were about to be a footnote in history. And then the Denver community rallied and said, let's get a spur built from Cheyenne to Denver to connect us to the world. That spur was built by Chinese and Japanese American immigrants. Like, those immigrant communities literally put Denver on the map 150 years ago. Without them, we would be a dusty, abandoned cow town. And so the fact that those communities are still now very present in some place like Socorro Square for Blocks from Union Station, of course they should be, because they built the railroad that brought the world to Denver. So we think telling those stories in a fuller way gets a better, more complete picture of the city that everyone sees themselves in without avoiding the hard truths that we know are there.
Colorado's history is as rugged and diverse as its landscape, from black cowboys and exoduster settlements to the mountain communities that would later become hubs for winter sports. So let's head to Telluride and experience the state's snow-covered peaks and the history behind all these winter activities. It was crazy. That last one, we should have been going on the fast one the whole time, because that was fast.
Skiing in Colorado actually began as a practical mode of transportation. So in the late 1800s, Scandinavian miners strapped on handmade skis, also known as Norwegian snowshoes back then, to navigate snow-covered terrain. So we wanted to walk the historic mile in these snowshoes to experience this ourselves.
We are going snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing it is.
You put these shoes on and get in the snow. Let's go hear what he's saying.
It will be a little uphill. Yeah, so, and then the next thing, I have a radio in case we just call ski patrol if anybody does anything crazy.
Have a little stroll down to Johnston. And then gonna trick me to get on.
And I tricked you to come to Winter Park, the town. We really made a day out of this. So the only way to get up to the area that's best for snowshoeing is to take a gondola. Now, if you've been following our series or you're new here, it's good to note that Kolyn is horrified of heights. Gondola.
This nigga here that tricked me on this.
I didn't know that. That was part of the tour.
I just didn't want to do this.
Okay, well,
I don't like this.
Park and we are doing the snowshoe tour.
Nah, it's like no control with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, if something decides to malfunction right now, we out of there.
This is a great time to record for World of Travel. That dude was like, you barely made it.
Yeah, come on, man.
Winter Park snowshoe tour.
Man, what's up with this, man? This ain't no black man, bro.
This is kind of cool. This park side over here, Winter Park, gets like 389 feet of snow every year, I think.
It's safe to say that despite the beautiful views, the Scandinavian miners did not have it easy, and neither of us would want to trade places with them.
You're probably wondering what was worth all that trekking. Why did people need to travel specifically through Colorado? Well, the answer to a lot of questions is money.
Welcome to the beautiful San Juan Mountains here right outside of Telluride, Colorado. And this high country alpine zone was where the miners came to get what? Gold!
That's why this is where the money resides. Hello! That's Mike Doherty, or as we like to call him, MD.
Oh, hell yeah.
gone snowmobiling before?
Me!
I don't know if we're filming this. Here we go. We might have sat on a doozy here. There you go.
There we go.
Takes a little minute to warm it up.
Okay, we're chilling here with MD from Telluride Outfitters, AKA Mike Doherty. You see Tiffany and Clifton, they're joining us. They're our talent for today. Mike, where are we going? What are we doing?
I have no idea. Let's go.
All right, you're gonna give us a little bit of instruction before we go wherever we're going?
Yes, we're gonna give you a brief safety orientation right here. Make sure you guys are comfortable with the operation of the snow machines and head out to go see the historic ghost town of Alta.
Okay, Kolyn's gonna be down here waiting for me, so if I don't come back, just know you're gonna deal with him.
Okay, I got you. He'll have a big smile on his face.
Tell us where we are.
We're at the scenic and historic ghost town of Alta, Colorado. At the turn of the century, there was 4,000 towns like this dotting the mountains of Colorado, all looking for the same thing. Gold!
Is there any here?
Oh, it's all over the place.
You found some before?
Oh, yes.
You lie.
I don't lie. And this is the home of alternating current, you guys. It's so conspicuous in our daily lives, these power lines, but these are the first ones in the world.
I know that I was going between 18 to 25. He said he was going 40 just now.
Y'all watch that turn up there, Wayne.
Boom, who are you here with, Lindsey?
MD!
MD's in the house. And Tiffany and Clifton.
Well, why we don't get an intro like that?
Boom, they're here too. Right on the top of that hill is the Telluride ski area. Telluride Ski Resort, founded here in 1972, and we've been snowmobiling the backside of the mountain since 1988. This is Turkey Creek Basin, and we're looking at the hike to skiing at Telluride at Palmyra Peak, 13,333 feet. Money in the air, it's everywhere. It's amazing. And every good gold mining claim came with one of these. You don't even see it. It's right in front of you. Look over here, Lindsey, come on with me.
I'm coming.
Every good mining claim came with a fault line. We look at it as a couloir or a ski chute, but that's actually seismic upheaval right there. That's a fault line, and you could see it go through that mountain and right through the next one behind it. Some of that agitation, seismic upheaval, and the volcanic eruptions that occurred here, they brought the gold to the surface. When the silver and gold was molten, tended to bond together, what the miners would look for was the molten gold veins and chase that gold. And they got it, and it was almost 98% pure coming out of the ground here. Wow. So we're part of the Silverton caldera here, and you look like a giant volcano around us. Up here, all this scree is petrified ash that's on top of the mountain, and it's evidence of this whole area throwing rocks in the air, a lot of volcanic activity, as well as slumping down, imploding, and it just sets us up for a beautiful view and a beautiful place to ride snowmobiles.
And a place where the money resides.
The money resides in Telluride.
Mining towns like Telluride were notorious for saloon culture in the late 1800s, with drinking, gambling, and even brothels as a central part of daily life. Prohibition hit these towns hard, then bootlegging and speakeasies flourished in these remote mountain towns, simply because it was easier to hide and transport liquor by mule or rail. This moment in history inspired a current Telluride staple called the Tunnel.
I'm here with the Tunnel owner, Mark Krasick. He's also the chef. Okay, you do everything.
Yes.
You're gonna take us in there to the speakeasy, and we gotta do this properly, right? There's a password and everything. Sure.
Password?
Holy Trinity.
All right, we're in. We made it. All right, we're gonna go into our main dining room or the chiller.
Okay.
All right, don't knock over any groceries on your way in. All right, we're in.
So tell me all about the tunnel. We're in this concept. Right now we're in the speakeasy room that's behind the refrigerator door. So how did you even come up with this?
Early 1900s, late 1800s, there was mining going on. Up above Telluride, there was another town called Tomboy, and that Tomboy had upwards of 3,000 to 3,500 people that lived up there, which is crazy because that's nearly at 11,500 feet elevation. And our town sits at 8,750 feet. So they would have to climb almost 4,000 feet to get to their location of where they were living. And it was all horse and carriage and walking at that time. So it's definitely, it was some hard living going on, lots of mining, and then also prohibition that occurred in the early 1900s when mining was still occurring. We merged those two ideas together to come up with this unique, different concept of the tunnel.
Colorado actually went dry early in 1916, years before alcohol was prohibited across the U.S. in 1920. Prohibition didn't end until the 21st Amendment was passed in 1933.
You may have heard the password to enter this place is Holy Trinity. That's a saying pretty close to my heart, coming from a Creole family. But if you don't know what it means, Mark will explain.
So the password for this is called Holy Trinity for the Creole menu. And Holy Trinity has the connotation of what Creole folks or Cajun folks use in a lot of their dishes, and that is the Holy Trinity being green peppers, onions, and celery.
Now, when we come here, we have no say in the menu. It's like you get what you're getting. It's 6 courses, though, so I'm not complaining about that.
We have a Creole menu that we are doing currently. We change the menu every 6 weeks, but right now we're doing Creole, one of my favorites, because it is a fusion type of cuisine that brings in some Spanish, some French, some Southern Continental United States, and African influences to its flavor profiles.
So, you know, Kolyn's from Texas, and he's so surprised when he saw a Creole menu. What's this gong all about?
So the gong is about when I come into the room, the guests take turns on giving it a whack in order to quiet down for a second so I can explain each course. We also say to the guests, if somebody's over talking and taking over the table too much, they can gong them as well.
I need this in my house. I'm not gonna say for who. I want y'all just to silence down. Oh, okay. Silence. Don't get too much. Don't get too much.
That gong was for me.
That was for Daniel. Quiet down, Daniel. The food in Colorado has a detailed history. From lamb to craft beer to trout to Rocky Mountain oysters. But long before statehood, the Ute, Arapaho, and Cheyenne tribes ate foods tied to the land.
No matter where you're at, you can try to create the spirit of the homeland. And the spirit of the homeland here means, for me, chokecherry trees and grapes.
What? So these are grapes and chokecherry trees?
These are like, they grow together. They're kind of like symbiotic with each other. They're little chokecherries. They're very good to eat. They're part of our staple diet. I leave some after I'm done harvesting so that the birds will have something. The grapes aren't done yet, but eventually we'll start getting ready to harvest the grapes. And again, we'll make jelly, or we'll make food out of the grapes. And the chokecherries are used in ceremonies, but they also make a great pudding. These are the kinds of things that we lived on that were our sustainable food systems. And I try to replicate them in my yard here in the middle of Denver, middle of Colorado. And I still try to make it my home and bring back my other relatives, the plants and the animals. I wish we had buffalo here. If I could have buffalo in my backyard, I would.
Buffalo, bison, and elk too. Rick painted the picture of what life was like for his ancestors hunting and gathering in Colorado, or as he would call it, the Front Range.
We lived here for thousands of years, and we had a wonderful life, and people don't realize that. Men had to work about 5 hours a week in order to survive in the environment we were in. You know, you go out and you hunt a buffalo, you get a buffalo, and it's going to feed you for 3 or 4 weeks. You know, so we had a wonderful life, and it wasn't wild. You know, we were living with nature in a good way, in a symbiotic way.
Now, during the Colorado Gold Rush between 1858 and 1859, many of the settlers relied on rivers and streams for food. Colorado has more than 6,000 miles of streams and 1,300 natural lakes and reservoirs, and they're full of trout.
All right, so I'm with my guy Pete. He's hooking up some fly fishing for me. Walking up now, putting on those cool sunshades. We about to go catch some fish. Well, hopefully catch some fish. You know, you do a lot of fishing, but you don't do a lot of catching, right?
It's called trout trickers, not trout landers.
There it is.
Let's go to my office.
Come on, baby.
Start having fun.
Pete Mott is the owner of Trout Trickers, and a company whose name pretty much explains it all.
We're fishy guys. We're a bunch of really senior, experienced guys that have been fishing the Roaring Fork in the Vail Valley for 20, 30 years. This is my 32nd year guiding here locally. We're gonna get in the boat and get in my office and start having fun. That's the way we roll. We have rods rigged, we have clean boats and things tight, so you just step into my office, start having fun. We're gonna go try to catch a cutbow right here on the Eagle River.
And even with no experience, Kolyn thinks he has a chance.
What? What? I want you to boat.
So don't get in the boat, or let's get in the boat a little bit. We're gonna cast, and then we're gonna go up to where we're gonna catch fish. Okay. On foot.
Okay.
Is that cool?
That's cool.
Okay. So come on in my office.
Have fun. Listen, let's go. Stop being scared.
I don't know what's literally going on, bro.
You're getting your feet wet.
Go in here or right here?
Are there alligators in there?
Sea legs, baby.
Yes or no? Alligators, yes or no? Kolyn, wouldn't you rely on your phone video?
Huh?
Will you rely on your phone video?
Well, yeah. Stop right now with my phone.
There is no strength required for fly fishing. None. It's all about timing and skills. So you can fish till you're 90. I've got some 88-year-olds right now, and there is no age limit to start. We have 4-year-olds that go out. If they're ready, we're ready. That's the answer when parents say, how old do they have to be to go fly fishing? When they're ready, we're ready.
You might be wondering what Lindsey was up to during all of this.
What's doing it?
Chipmunk! Sorry, I'm sorry. It just ran across my foot. Yeah, it's like you cut that out. A chipmunk just ran across my foot. Okay, this is exactly. I'm ready to go. Turn it off.
We didn't catch any fish, but it gives us a perspective on conditions experienced by fly fishers when that was a main source of food.
So it's not necessarily hard, but it does take time, and it does take practice, and it does take some dedication. And you can't just, be handed a set of golf clubs and lay it on the fairway. You got to go to the putting range, and you got to go to the driving range, and you got to put in your time.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's an art to it, like the way you have to control. There's a lot of things you got to control.
Yeah.
While you fly fishing.
But it's a muscle memory thing.
Right.
It's a muscle memory thing. It's a whole arm. Probably.
A bunch of fish jumped out the water and ate the bait, but didn't get hooked. And so the art of it is to learn how to hook a fish. So today we went fishing. We didn't go catching. We went fishing.
So whether you prefer growing, hunting, or fishing your meals, 221 Oak usually has a line out the door, perfectly serving cooked dishes that celebrate Colorado's history. So many people say you gotta come eat here. We're about to meet Eliza right now. Hey, Eliza.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, how are you? Welcome to 221.
Thank you. We're so excited to see what you got in the kitchen. You're gonna bring us straight there, right?
Yeah, come on, let's go.
Everyone says if you're in Telluride, you have to stop here. You've been around for more than 20 years. What makes this a staple to stop at when you're in Telluride?
Well, we try to do seasonal Colorado cuisine. So we'll have elk and we'll have bison, we'll have a Rocky Mountain trout, but we also like to bring in different influences from around the world. Like we'll have sansho, which is a Japanese pine berry, and like goji berries, which are native to the Himalayan mountains, but they help with acclimating to higher altitudes. So we try to just mix it up as much as we can.
Now, everybody knows that Colorado is not usually the place where everyone says, I love seafood.
Yes.
But your most famous dish here is what?
Is our Rocky Mountain trout.
And even though we're not cooking trout that was caught by Kolyn himself.
So I'm gonna cook up this trout in front of y'all real quick. Because it takes only a minute.
1 minute, literally. Or you're saying a couple minutes.
I'm gonna say a couple minutes.
I'm taking some skills from you because I'm not the best cook or the quickest cook.
No.
I take like an hour to do the easiest things.
Like mac and cheese? Oh no.
So not mac and cheese, shrimp. Yeah,
shrimp?
exactly.
Well, I mean, you gotta peel the shrimp, you gotta devein the shrimp, right? We serve it with a duo of ravioli, fried capers, and a brown butter sauce, and we sell more of that than anything else.
You said
on
your
the menu.
other two top ones combined don't equal the trout.
No, they don't. Like we sell so much, it's just insane how much trout we sell. Okay.
Look, I got this. I'm getting a job here. I'm officially hired.
This bison has been cooked for 3 days.
Wow.
And that elk has been brined and then, cooked for like 10 minutes.
That brine does something different to it. Though.
It does. It does. Well, it makes it more tender.
Yes.
First of all, because when you put something in a brine, the salt just kind of gets into those cell walls and loosens them up.
Love.
You know.
It's like a lot of love.
It's a lot of love.
Mm-hmm. You gotta loosen them up a little bit. You know.
Yeah, for sure. It's like a glass of wine. Just
right.
Give them a little looseness. You know.
They're so good.
I'm gonna taste it. Are we allowed to share?
Let's switch plates.
Okay.
That's great. Oh, look how fuerte you are. Muy fuerte.
I'll go back to you. What do you think?
Yeah.
Colorado has shown us that history isn't just in the books or museums. It's in the land, the rivers, and the stories of the people who lived here for generations and those who called this place home.
And it's in the moments we share, the thrills, the laughs, the challenges, and even the trout that we don't catch. From snow-covered peaks to rivers that flow endlessly, from the past to the present, it's in the land, the cultures, and the movements we share together.
Colorado reminds us that every place has a story. Every story connects us to something greater.
Tell me about what the legacy or the future for Colorado is in your eyes.
Yeah, we think Colorado can also be a balance of this national struggle about who are we as a country. And I think I describe this as kind of our own frontier sense of fairness, which is we both believe everyone should have an opportunity and everyone's got some responsibility, so that we're not afraid of saying people have to take care of themselves and have to look after themselves and have to be responsible for their own behavior. And we want to be a place that can support folks on their darkest day or in their deepest troubles to get themselves back on their feet. And so I think that as you have people polarized about what the country should do, we think we have a pretty common sense approach to, yes, we're open for business, we're open to everybody and everyone that comes here. There was a phrase I used to use when I was a school principal, which is, we are all crew, not passengers. Like nobody rides for free. Everybody works. But if we all work together, you can go remarkable places and do remarkable things. I think that is the Colorado culture and the Colorado lifestyle. I think that's why so many folks are drawn to it, is they want that access to huge open skies of opportunity, and they want to know that everyone's going to pull their weight. And we think that Colorado's a place we can do both.
And we're still just getting started. These boots are made for walking. I actually have always wanted to learn how to do like the saddle thing, you know?